Alright, today I'm at a beautiful location, and I'm shooting this video about how to get a bag in a rural area series. This will be part 3, and today I want to talk about tile work and how to do tile work and stuff like that. So tile work can be very lucrative. It's low overhead. One thing's for sure, everybody has a bathroom and a shower. Hopefully everybody got a shower, stuff like that. So I was going to talk a little bit about tile work. Tile work, all you need is some basic stuff. You just need first you need a tile saw, and hopefully you got you can have a 4, 7 or 10 inch blade for your tile saw, and tools like that. You need to have knowledge of backer board and stuff like that. You need mortar and thin set. You got to know how to use that. When you do tile, you can also do flooring as well. So the floors, you do tile, you do floors and stuff like that. And basically you just you cut the backer board to the size that you need, and then you nail it to the well, you strip everything down. So if you're taking some tile that's already in the bathroom, you'll take that tile and you'll strip it down. After that, it's just a matter of putting it up and just making sure that your edges and everything are always straight. So once you mark everything, you have to make sure that you stay in line, and that's pretty much it. And then to do a good job, you just have to practice with it and everything. And I would take a small little area, and practice. So I'm back to my how to get a bag in a rural area series, and this is part 3, and I'm talking about tile work. And like I mentioned earlier, I got kind of crazy at the park. Ended up at this park that was like it was a regular park, but then it had trails and all kind of stuff. And then in the middle of my video, 30 people popped out from the trail, and it was just crazy. So, but I'm back with it, and I just want to go over some things, because some of the information that I give you about the this series right here, no one actually taught me how to do tile work. So I kind of picked up on it on my own. So I just want to go over some things that you might need. You're going to need, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to need the thin set, the mortar. You're going to need some some wood spacers or plastic spacers, to keep the tile from getting too close together. I mean, if you're really good at this, and depending on what kind of tile you use, you might not need that. You're gonna need some grout and some grout sealant, like I mentioned earlier, and you're gonna need a little silicone caulk, right? And you're gonna need, of course, a combination square, because that's gonna keep, the combination square is gonna keep everything kind of focused on the right, on your lines. Keep everything focused, and where it starts at, you might start in the corner. You might start over in the left corner, the right corner, the right upper corner, the right lower corner, or you might start in the middle of the floor. Either way, you're going to need that square. In bigger areas, you're going to have to mark it all out before you get started. You're also going to need, a 4-foot level. You're going to need things like, of course, your tile cutter, your notch trowel to mix up your the material that you'll be using, your thin set, and things like that. You're gonna need your grout float. That's how you gotta squeeze that grout into the cracks in the tiles. That's why you'll see the wood. You like the nice tile, you'll see the white lines in between, and it doesn't always have to be white lines. It all depends on what kind of tile you use and what kind of matching grout that you're gonna use. Grout lines can change. You can use a lot of different type of grout lines, as far as a lot of different type of grout for your lines, or for your that you're going to mix with the that you're going to place in between that you're going to put. I'm going to show you some pictures, but you're going to put the you're going to have the grout. The grout is what goes in between the tile. The thin set is what sets the tile. The thin set sets the tile. When you put the tile on the floor, it has to have thin set. You have to take your trowel and trowel it in, and that thin set is going to stick to the back of the tile, and that's what's going to cause the tile to stick to your floor or your backer board or whatever it is you have. Some people put tile over wooden floors, and you know, you want it. I mean, I'm not going to say either way whether it's something that you want to do. Just you can definitely tile over other tile, but you might want to use some kind of backer board, because that tile basically, I don't think that a wooden floor, a regular dry, you know, floor is supposed to, you're supposed to tile right over that, but some people do it. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to bring up another point. When you tile, sometimes you have to have the right thin set that can have a little bit of, that can move a little bit without cracking, you know, kind of like rubber, you know, thin set. You know, if you're going to have a floor and you step on the floor might have creaks in it or stuff like that. So when you step on the floor, it can end up breaking your tile and causing cracks in your tile. Or if you use a backer board underlayment, that can be more of a sturdy foundation for your tile. You dig what I'm saying? Alright, so let's move on. Alright, so as far as that, you know, just doing your tile work, I mean, I would say, you know, you start at the bottom. And what I did was I nailed a board across the bottom when I did like the bathtub, and I made sure. But I ran into a problem where the bathtub wasn't exactly even, so you can't necessarily trust the measurements of what's going on. So, but you can trust your starting point if you have everything level all the way across. But each piece at the bottom of the tub had to be cut a different length. A different width, I mean, and that was a headache, but that's something you got to watch out for. And also, when you're doing tile work, you know, how you end up at the top. If you're doing a shower, you know, you got to measure that and know how many pieces you're going to need to go up to the top as well. Countertops are a little bit more easier. Alright, so right here I have a countertop that has some kind of, I guess, looks like floor tile that's been put on the countertop. So what I'm going to do is replace it with some real tile that looks like so. The sink, if you're using a double sink for like a kitchen and stuff like that, you know, when you start doing backsplash and going up the side wall, if you're cooking on a stove, then in that situation, you know, you still need to go up the wall. You know, if you're doing Masonic, which is the smaller tile, you know, they just come in a sheet or a small square. And then it's just basically the same thing, you know. Okay, now I'm putting grout on the countertop. I've already started the process. Let me move this trowel out of the way so y'all can see. I took the grout. I don't know if you can see that. I got it to this consistency. Now I'm just working it in. And like I told you, I'm putting it at about a 30-degree angle, and I'm just rubbing it in, getting it in the cracks here. And I'll move this out of the way. Show you a little bit more. Like I said, I started it a few minutes ago, and I just wanted to get started on it, get on top of it, because the stuff gets hard after a minute or two. I'm just working it all the way around. It's kind of messy, but we're going to clean that up. And I also have a sponge that I use right behind it. And after I get done with this part, then what I will do is I will let me turn it a little bit so you can see the backboard, which is, that's kind of hard to get to right here, but I'm trying to. You can always take your finger and kind of, as long as you get it in there. Now the sponge will get in there a little bit better than this. But after I get done, what I want to do is take the get some of my sink here. What I want to do is take the sponge, just keep working it in, working it in, working it in, working it in, all over the place, because I'm going to caulk around the sink when this is all over with. And then you just get it to where you want it. Keep wiping it and let it sit for about, I don't know. You have to let the thin set, you have to let that sit for a while, overnight. But the grout, you pretty much can seal it up in a couple hours, I think. I've done it like that and I haven't had any problem. As long as you've wiped all the film, make sure you get all that film off of there. It should be okay. And then after that's all done, then what you can do is after you've got all that done, then you can put your sealer up there, and then your caulk last. You notice I keep wiping it. Because I don't want that grime and that grout film from the thin set, or mud as Calvin will call it, to be on the finish of the tile. And you take your finger and you can push any areas that might have trapped a little bit of this. Alright, that's pretty much it for right now. And there you have it, for the grout. So that's it for now. I'm wrapping up on how to get a bag in the rural area. We're talking about tile, and this is volume 3.